Tell everyone it's been a pleasure collaborating with you all. The door slid shut on her shocked expression. As the elevator began its descent, my phone buzzed insistently. Victor's name appeared on the screen. I exhaled slowly and picked up. Alexander Hayes, where are you? The teams assembled in the conference center. We're moments away from finalizing the acquisition that's going to redefine the industry. I'm Alexander Hayes, 45 years old, and I was convinced this would be the darkest day of my professional journey. In reality, it marked the dawn of something far greater. Plans have shifted, I replied calmly, despite the weight of the duffel bag slung over my shoulder, packed with 20 years of my career artifacts. I'm parting ways with the company. The line went dead silent for so long, I checked if we disconnected. Then, you're joking, right? Alexander, this isn't the time. I've been demoted and effectively pushed out. Immediate effect. Demoted? On the day we closed the biggest acquisition in Vertex Global's history? That's absurd. Must be some leverage play in negotiations. No one sidelines their chief strategist on a deal of this magnitude. The elevator hummed softly floor by floor, carrying me away from the penthouse suite, where I'd masterminded this $3.2 billion acquisition for the past 2.5 years. No play, Victor. Just a new reality. I'd recommend discussing next steps with Vertex's remaining team. The doors parted to reveal the grand atrium of Vertex Global's headquarters. Through the expansive windows, I spotted Victor Lang standing with the executives from Apex Dynamics. Suits sharp, briefcases ready, faces expectant after months of cross-continental flights. Trailing them, I saw Elena Cartwright descending the main staircase, likely for her dramatic arrival at the closing ceremony. Elena, 26 years old, fresh Yale grad, daughter of our CEO Marcus Cartwright, the privileged heir who just sabotaged her father's legacy because I refused to mandate unpaid overtime for my team. I stepped out, bag in tow, looking like a displaced consultant. Victor noticed me instantly. His confident stride faltered, eyes widening as he registered the scene. His key counterpart at Vertex exiting with personal effects. He hung up and approached swiftly, his polished demeanor cracking with visible dread. Alexander. He clasped my shoulder firmly, as if touch could reverse the unfolding disaster. What's going on? Closing is in 15 minutes. The announcement drops at market open. Regrettably not, Victor. Your primary strategist just got sidelined. Acquisition's in jeopardy. Victor's jaw tightened as he traced my glance to Elena, who was now nearer with that self-assured glow of unchecked power. You did what? His raised voice echoed through the atrium, drawing stares from his advisors poring over final documents. Elena's poise wavered, shifting from triumph to uncertainty. I was upholding our new operational guidelines. She defended weakly, gripping her tablet like a lifeline. His department refused to implement mandatory weekend hours without compensation. It undermines our commitment to efficiency. Victor turned incredulous. You demoted the architect of a $3.2 billion acquisition because he wouldn't force unpaid overtime? It's about fostering a culture of dedication, Elena countered, but her tone lacked conviction now. Total commitment drives results. That's when Marcus Cartwright emerged from the private lift, flanked by anxious directors. He hurried over with the determined gait of a leader sensing imminent catastrophe. Victor, let's resolve this amicably. His voice held that artificial optimism. This is surely a minor oversight. But Victor was already conferring hushed with his group. Snippets about valuing employee welfare, questioning leadership priorities, and board obligations. I remained quiet, observing 2.5 years of relentless effort evaporate. Endless nights, foregone vacations, strained relationships, all to craft an acquisition that would rescue Vertex from declining markets while expanding Apex's footprint. All unraveled because Marcus Cartwright's ambitious daughter prioritized rigid policies over pragmatic leadership. Marcus pulled me aside, voice low in that executive whisper meant to convey empathy. Alexander, we should talk this through upstairs. Elaine is enthusiastic, but inexperienced. She's learning. We'll make it right. Nothing to make right. I responded loudly enough for the atrium to hear. Your daughter enforced a policy. You endorsed it implicitly by not intervening. I respect the decision. Victor pivoted back, resolute. This deal hinged on Alexander Hayes. He designed the strategy, cultivated the trust, bridged the gaps, secured the synergies. Without his involvement, he trailed off. Apex can't move forward confidently. You can't simply withdraw. Marcus objected. Desperation edging in. Everything's prepared. Valuations complete. Regulatory approval secured. Media embargo lifts soon. We can actually, Victor stated evenly. He retrieved his tablet and highlighted a section from Marcus. Clause 12, subsection 7 of the acquisition agreement. Material adverse change tied to key personnel. Alexander Hayes is explicitly listed. His departure for reasons unrelated to health or mutual agreement allows Apex to terminate without liability. The beauty of it? I drafted that protection myself to safeguard against executive risks. Now it became the instrument of Vertex's downfall. Alexander negotiated that provision. One of our attorneys murmured to Marcus. He foresaw every contingency. Victor shook my hand firmly, eyes conveying respect. Alexander, whenever you're ready for new opportunities, reach out. Apex values leaders who prioritize people. With that, Victor Lang and his delegation departed the atrium, leaving stunned quiet and the ruins of Vertex's lifeline deal. I nodded farewell to former co-workers, those who'd witnessed my demotion in silence, then exited, brushing off Marcus's pleas to reconsider. Outside, the autumn breeze felt liberating somehow, unburdened. No position, no pipeline, and my landmark achievement just imploded. Yet amid the turmoil, a long-absent peace emerged. My phone exploded with notifications en route to the garage. I silenced it entirely. Vertex's meltdown wasn't my burden anymore. The commute home allowed reflection. In under an hour, Elena Cartwright had obliterated more shareholder value than most firms creating years, likely dooming Vertex's independence, endangering jobs, erasing billions, all over resistance to exploitive hours. At home, I did something rare midweek. Mix a drink in daylight, then relax on the patio overlooking the lake. When had I last appreciated the changing leaves or the quiet neighborhood rhythm? Evening headlines broke. Vertex acquisition falls apart. Shares tumbled 28%. Further drops forecasted as ramifications unfolded. Analysts speculated on restructuring or buyouts. A twinge of sympathy for solid colleagues. Sarah in finance burning midnight oil. Tom in engineering loyal since the startup days. They weren't the silent enablers, just dedicated folks needing stability. But leadership failed them, not me. For days, I disconnected fully. Ignored outreach from media, recruiters, peers. Focus on rediscovery. Restful sleep, home-cooked dinners. Reconnecting with Sister Laura in Seattle. Neglected since Mom's passing. You sound renewed, Laura noted on our third chat. Lighter. Force break does wonders. I chuckled genuinely. Never heard you this content. She replied. Maybe losing that job saved you. Perhaps. I conceded, gazing at the garden I'd ignored for years. But the manner of it, 20 years grinding, sacrificing health and family, forging alliances, delivering growth. And they repaid how? Nothing, Laura pressed. You poured everything in. They let a recent grad dismantle it over work-life boundaries? Spot on. 10 days later, Marcus finally connected via my private line. Alexander. His tone weary. We must speak. Must we? The fallout severe. Dire, actually. Your expertise is critical. I nearly scoffed. Expertise from the same Vertex that demoted me for protecting my team? Deep regret in his exhale. Monumental misstep. Elena has been reassigned to analytic support. I faced board censure. Handled disastrously. Silence from me. Please, Alexander. Jobs hang in balance. loyal staff who've admired you, those who watch my sidelining without protest. I muse privately. What's the proposal? Board session tomorrow. Name your compensation. Intriguing, unexpectedly. Not for wealth or drama, but the builder in me stirred. I'll consider, I said, disconnecting. Sleepless at night. What outcome did I seek? Compensation? Vindication? Something grander. Dawn brought clarity, beyond retribution. I rang Marcus early. I'll attend, but today afternoon, with stipulations. Stipulations? To prevent recurrence. Pause. Agreed. 3 p.m. I arrive in the boardroom donning casual attire. The same jeans and sweater cited in my demotion email for lacking commitment. Point made boldly. Director stood upon entry. Ironic reversal from their prior inaction. Expressions mixed guilt and desperation. Marcus appeared exhausted. Elena absent. Appreciate your presence, Chairwoman Elaine Voss began. Veteran board member, usually silent. We're grateful to explore resolutions. Dispense with formalities. I cut in, seating myself. Since my exit, shares down 58%. Key partners invoking review clauses. Pundits predicting insolvency without intervention. Even revived apex talks. Remote possibility. Would demand harsher concessions now. They hold advantage. We grasp the stakes, Marcus interjected. Age visibly. But action is needed. Is it? You've chosen already. Elena's directives over strategic wisdom. Rigid hours over talent retention. Inaction over advocacy for your dealmaker. Silence thick. Why aid you? I pressed. I contact deliberate. You all observe my demotion. None challenge the overreach. Elaine admitted. Grave misjudgment. Unforgivable. What incentive for return? I presented the attorney-drafted folder. Non-negotiable. Eyebrows arched progressively. This is ambitious, Marcus noted faintly. Indeed. Restoration as executive vice president. Quadruple prior compensation. Board observer status. Full discretion on operational policies. Significant stock options. Plus formal apology release. Quadruple excessive. Compare Vertex's valuation pre- and post-crisis, or potential save value. Further, priority claim on innovative projects, 65% personal stake, 35% to Vertex. Resources reimbursed transparently. Unprecedented. A director protested. As is marginalizing your strategist over overtime refusal amid a landmark deal, I countered. Safeguard against nepotistic overrides. Deliberation via glances. Elaine, if accepted, you'll pursue Apex revival? Attempt, no guarantees. Damage to credibility profound. Victor saw Vertex's core flaws exposed. More consultation. Signatures followed. Elaine first, Marcus last after hesitation. Start date? Immediately, I declared rising. Already initiating outreach. On Elena, Marcus queried. Demoted suffices. Consequences are hers. That evening, Victor remained skeptical. Vertex exposed vulnerabilities, toxic policies, misplaced priorities. You'd partner with me, I assured, with mandate to deliver. Lengthy dialogue yielded tentative revised terms. Steeper discounts for Apex. Greater oversight. Viable starting point. Next week stabilize remnants while nurturing a contract-enabled concept. Sparked by overtime dispute. Discussion with R&D lead Carlin Gwynn. Assembled discrete group for off-hours prototype. Innovative concept. Intrigue, what domain? Employee wellness tech. Apps and wearables promoting sustainable productivity. Boundary enforcement. Outside core? Precisely untapped need. Contract permits. Carla rallied top talent. Motivated by ethical tech. Dubbed Balance Forge. 8 months on. Balance Forge launched spectacularly. Evolved from sketches to integrated platform. AI scheduling guarding against burnout. Wearable alerts for overwork. Anonymized reporting on toxic cultures. I demoed prototypes internally. Adoption swift. Inquiries poured. Company-wide reveal, Elena in rear diminished. Colleagues gathered expectantly. Milestone announcement, I opened. Survived turmoil. Fortified operations. Now unveiling transformation. Slide, balance forward branding. Platform empowering professionals to thrive without sacrifice. Demos captivated. Auto decline excessive meetings, wellness analytics. Integration with calendars flagging unsustainable loads. No more coerced overtime eroding lives. Projections impressed. Vast market in post-burnout era. Each user profile features origin narrative. How one inflexible policy nearly sank a firm and cost a $3.2 billion opportunity. Hushed recognition. Lesson. When humanity yields to rigid efficiency, all suffer. Balance Forge restores equilibrium. Launch tomorrow, majority independent via contract. Vertex 35% stake. Marcus Rose. Board unaware timeline. Autonomy governs. Support appreciated. Rollout shattered forecasts. Media spotlight. Demoted over boundaries. Strategist builds empire from injustice. Download surged. Corporates adopted for attention. Individuals for protection. Victor endorsed publicly. Deploying Balance Forge fleet-wide. Champion sustainable success. Viral boost. 4 months post. Balance Forge out-earned Vertex Core. 35% stake became Lifeline. Restructured Apex close. Tougher but sustaining. Anniversary assembly. 1 year ago. Demoted for defending balance. I stated in latest prototype interface. Today, celebrate evolution. Displayed meteoric growth. From adversity bloomed advocacy for humane work. Announced full spin-off, Vertex retaining stake. Plus nonprofit arm. Grants for burnout victims, leadership training. Includes redemption paths for policy errors with proven reform. Eyeing Elena subtly. Post-event, she approached hesitantly. The training real? Authentic, I affirmed. Eligible? Humility evident now. Rigorous. Reflection required. No favors. Understood. Seeking change. Months later, she qualified for associate program. Note, grateful for second chances. Balance Forge soared, aiding millions in reclaiming lives. Revenge? Not diminishment, but elevation. Turning exploitation into empowerment. True power. Converting attempts to diminish you into legacies that inspire. That legacy illuminates or overshadows. Your call. Thanks for joining my tale. What resonated? The demotion, revival, or meaningful creation from hardship? Share below. Like if inspired. Subscribe for more journeys. Always more ahead. Glad you're here.